Here we have a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra. This one is an N model, comes in performance blue, and then we get the black N light sport bucket seats. For the powertrain, we get a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to an 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission. That gets us 276 horsepower, 289 pound-feet of torque. And to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with our LED daytime running lights. And I love this performance blue and just how the headlamps, the whole front fascia, how it all comes together. It just looks super sporty. Over here to the wheels, these are 19-inch alloy. I love that. Love the brake calipers. Just a nice look. We get passive keyless entry on the front. Then to the door panel here, rear window locks. We get power windows and then one touch up and down for the driver's side. Power door lock controls are there, and then our power mirror controls here. And we do get blind spot monitors in the side mirror. Bose sound system. Hood release. Love the pedals. We get a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our manual driver's seat. That's gonna be a 6-way, so we can pump the seat up or down, control the seat back there, and the seat bottom down here. But a huge thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna check out the rear seat room. It's kind of a step down, but great space here in my opinion. With these seats where they're so slim, it makes it easier for me to kind of fit in that driving position there. And then down here, 2 USB-C fast charge ports, but not really any place to put your cups. You have a kind of a bottle holder here. So you only get 2 for the back because you don't have any seat back pockets. This middle seat doesn't fold down. So storage, not really plentiful back here, but if you're looking at one of these, that's not really what you're interested in anyway. We do get the side airbags in the back, which is nice. Integrated in the seat there. And then your trunk release is here. Fuel cap right there. So you can undo the screw there. And then we'll start with the trunk here. You can also release it with this button here when it's unlocked. But I think a pretty generous trunk space here. We do get the side pockets on either side. And then down here, there's your tire inflator kit. But again, pretty good space back here. And then you do have the option to pull this to release the seat, but you also have that bar there as well. And a nice back end there. Love the exhaust. I love how big the tips are. And they just look really nice. Sorry about the wind noise if that's coming through. But there's a release there if you can get it going, and then these will fold flat. And then your anchors for the car seat underneath there, and your top tethers are behind the seat rest themselves. And then your child locks are right there. You kind of put a key or something in there to turn it. And then 4-way manual front passenger seat here. And that's pretty neat having that illuminated logo in the sports seats there. The glove compartment has all the owner's manuals here. And the sports seats actually feel really nice. I love how they did those. But there's that 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And then we're gonna test. test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers, see what those look like. And then we're gonna test out the blinkers I love that we get them in the side mirrors and then the LEDs up front. But let's hop in the driver's seat. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here. I love the perforation on the sides, having the end there. And then that's the horn. Over here to the screen, we do get AM, FM, XM radio, along with Bluetooth audio, navigation systems here. We get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. N mode is here. So you can kind of see the throttle, oil temperature, all of the good stuff there, and then you can kind of customize it as well. And for your settings, just go in here. And if you want to change your language, you can do that there. And if you want to change your units of measurement, you can go in there and individually customize each of those. Backup cameras here. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. You also get those rear and front parking sensors, and those will illuminate as you get close to anything backing up or going forward. Hazards are down here. AC controls are here, so you do get dual zone automatic climate control, so you can adjust either side there. Cut the fan speed down there, fan direction here. And then you have your 3-stage heated seats for the front, defrosters. You can cut the whole system off with that button. There's a 12 volt down here. It's kind of dark, but USB-A there, USB-C there, and then your wireless charging pad right in there. Now for the drive modes, you have this button here that you can use, or you can use these ends here on the steering wheel, which is pretty cool. And you can go through those, and then you have this NGS here. So that's the end grin shift, and what that does is it kind of gives you that 20 seconds of the best boost you can get out of the car, the fastest shifts you can get. So we're gonna test that out in the test drive portion. But down here, hit this button, it's your parking camera, and then you can toggle those parking sensors here. Now for the wet dual clutch, hold this button behind the shifter, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you can come over here and manually shift from the shifter or using the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. And then your parking brake is there. I love having that here. Bottle holders, center console cubby space, and then for the sunroof, you can tilt or slide that, but that's a one-touch slide there. Hit it a second time, goes all the way behind the cover there, and then you can one-touch close it as well. There's a look at the back seat. The sunroof controls are here. Those are the dome lights. And then you do have the vanity mirror here. Now back to the front, blinkers, high beams, you can control those auto high beams as well. And then your intermittent wipers are on this side, one time off, intermittent low high. You can adjust that intermittent frequency there and then pull up here for the front fluid. Audio sources can be gone through here, and then you can toggle your volume, mute, go through your track list, radio station presets, Bluetooth, your favorites button here. So you have a custom button and then another one by the radio. But over here, smart cruise can be activated there. You can toggle the speed, and you can go through the gauge cluster, the right side right in there. And then you can use this button to go through the sub menus when applicable too. But this is for the lane centering, pause and resume the cruise control there. And then push button start. Here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Elantra N out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in the Elantra N here, I love the sound of the car, the engine, the exhaust. Even just how the dual clutch shifts just makes it for a very sporty, very enjoyable drive. Now obviously with this being the sport tuned suspension, ride is not the most comfortable, but doesn't really bother me. It's relatively comfortable for what this car is. It's just not smooth, let me put it that way. It's relatively stiff. But I have it in the sport mode here, and the sport mode is just so much fun. It kind of waits to shift. You can kind of get higher in the RPMs there, and it just makes it feel like a more traditional manual. Now I'm gonna test out the NGS when I get on the interstate, but honestly the sport mode is more than enough for me just how it is. It's relatively quick. I'm barely giving it any throttle. Now I will say this view here is not the best for me just because everything is kind of big except for how fast I'm going, so I kind of have to look and see, oh okay, that's how fast I'm going. But I mean, it's just something small to point out. Now, when you go back into the normal mode, the eco mode, all of that, you're able to use your sub menus and go through those more easily. But when you're in that sport mode, you don't really have that ability when you have the other view up. But again, it's just something that you kind of get used to when you're driving the car. So I'm gonna wait to get on the interstate here because I'm kind of surrounded. And I'm gonna give it a pull. Let's turn it on now. Here we go. Yeah, it just went crazy. Let's give it one more. But yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. It just wanted to go hard. I wasn't even on the throttle. It was just like, all right, let's redline it. Now I do want to give one more thanks to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now, ride not terrible. Road noise is more prevalent with this setup here, but for the most part, I mean, it gets 20 miles per gallon city, 27 highway, so I wouldn't mind driving this on a commute. Now on a road trip, won't be the best, but I think it's doable. Now I'm interested in how this button really works real time. So if I just hit it, can I use it to pass or what? But okay, yeah, that's pretty nice. Very, very nice. But I think for the money, it's under 38 grand. Not a bad car. Very fun to drive. Very quick. And I think honestly for what you get, it could be, I mean, it's a good bargain, I think, honestly, because there's very little that's left in this segment. We're gonna give it one more pull with the NGS coming out of this corner here. Yeah, that's really quick. really fun car if you want something like this. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Hyundai Elantra N.